Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 6 of What If Naruto Was a Genius with a Stealing Bloodline ability. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Orochimaru's son with multiple Gekigenkai. And also guys, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Became the New God of Apocalypse, so go ahead and enjoy that over on Anime King. And don't forget to comment down below and tell me if you're new, and turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post, because I do post a lot. So without further ado or wasting any more time, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now guys. So the last spot we left off, Naruto was explaining to the Sound 3 that came to fight him, which consists of Jiraiya and Jirobo, and also Seikon and Ukon, the reason why Orochimaru sent them after him to kill him, as Orochimaru did not trust Naruto now, with the knowledge of the curse mark, so he now wanted Naruto dead, as Naruto found it rather amusing. However, the Sound 4 would not take in his words until Jiraiya jumped away as she snatched Karen away as well. She was playing both sides at the moment, as she wanted to see if Naruto was actually this strong as they said that he was. If he was indeed the member of the Bloodline and actually its leader. He's supposed to be ridiculously strong, so she wanted to see if that was true. Down below, as Seikon and Ukon and Jirobo, they start to fight, as Naruto created two Rasengans. Ukon was a knowledgeable person, as he had knowledge on many of the past history, especially when it comes to the leaders and the Kages and all that. So he knew the Rasengan was a short-range jutsu until Naruto applied wind chakra and fired the thing like a bullet. They were both caught off guard as they were hit. He was forced to split. Jirobo was also badly injured as well. That is why they had to enter stage 2 of their curse mark, and the real battle began. Their strength and their speed intensified. They were now in a different class by themselves. It was a reason why they were Orochimaru elite guards. They were incredibly strong. As they started to clash against Naruto, but Naruto's speed was just beyond them at the moment, as they could not catch him. That is when Naruto decided to show them the courtesy, because they pulled out their strongest technique, as Naruto became a Rasengan. Yes, his body literally became a Rasengan, the force and the power behind it. They could not even touch him because they would be clashing against a Rasengan. As Naruto gave Seikon and Ukon one punch. One punch, that was all it took, as they were blown to pieces. He then turned his gaze toward Jirobo and disassembled him as well. Now Jiraiya was sure that he was indeed the man that he said that he was. They spoke for a while until Naruto told them what he was going to do, as he was going to send them to where the chimera ants was. It was going to help them gain a lot stronger. And by the time they came back, they would be ready for what they had to face. So with that, Naruto reverse summoned them there. With that, Naruto continued on with the exam, as he met back up with his team as they made their way off. Sasuke hiding the mark of the curse mark. It seems like even Kakashi didn't want Naruto to know about that. The preliminary exam went off as Naruto was sent towards the next round. Everything was going so well, as Jiraiya showed up. Yes, Jiraiya was there, as Naruto knew that he was there, watching him the entire time. As Naruto told him to come out, as Jiraiya revealed himself, they started to talk. Jiraiya wanted Naruto to sign the contract, as Naruto told him about the chimera ants. However, Jiraiya told him that his loyalty first was with Konoha, so he must sign the contract, as it didn't matter what the chimera ants thought at all. Jiraiya thought that Naruto would summon the boss of the clan to see what exactly was capable of after hearing what Kakashi had said. But to his surprise, Naruto agreed. Jiraiya was taken aback. Just exactly what was his kid playing at? Did he have so much trust in the chimera ants that he knew that, or perhaps him and Hirusen's thoughts were right? Maybe the chimera ants were not exactly a summoning clan. Maybe they were created by Naruto, as Naruto went to sign the Toad contract. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. If you guys can switch across the place, check it for yourself, and don't forget to comment down below and tell me if you're new guys. Yes, I'll be replying talking about to all of you. And also turn on the bell notifications to exactly when I post. So without further ado or wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode begin now guys? As Jiraiya watched as Naruto was about to sign the contract, to be honest, Jiraiya did not want to believe that Naruto had conducted insects and animals and human experimentation of his summons. Not only because what it would imply of his godson mental makeup, however, it also meant that Naruto was going down a path that his former teammate Orochimaru also went down. Illegal human experimentation. He didn't want to believe that his godson could or was walking the same path as his former best friend. And he did not want to entertain the follow-up theory that Kakashi and Sarutobi came up with, that if Naruto indeed created the chimera ants through human experimentation, then he along with Orochimaru were the main suspects behind the disappearance of the founding bloodline clans of Konoha and across the entire elemental nation. Sarutobi sensei was right, Jiraiya thought. Naruto is totally unpredictable. Nothing he does is what you expect, and every reaction or action that he takes is the opposite of what you expect. He is incredibly difficult for you to read, and his motives are difficult for you to discern, Jiraiya thought as he analyzed the boy. There, it's done, said Naruto as he signed the contract with his blood. Interesting, his wound is already healed. Kakashi told me that he never saw Naruto get injured before, so he doesn't know how far his healing ability had developed. I'll have to report this to Sarutobi sensei. He will want to know that Naruto appears to have an instant meiotic regeneration ability, just like Snappy, Jiraiya thought to himself. Now can you stop bothering me? I have a tough opponent for the finals of Chunin exams. Preparations have to be made, as he tossed the scroll back to Jiraiya. I bet the only reason they want me to sign the contract is to tie my fate down with Jiraiya. If I ever go rogue, then Jiraiya can simply reverse summon me, or have the Toads do it. However, a simple application of the Uzumaki clan seal is all I need to break my connection with the Toads. When the time comes, said Naruto. This is not an issue for me, he thought to himself. Don't be an idiot, said Jiraiya. Obviously you have to practice summoning technique now that you signed the contract. You need to meet the Toads and learn more about their abilities, and you need to work on team tactics and battle formation with them. Also, you need to be assigned a personal summon, and finally, you need to practice so you don't accidentally summon a chimera ant when you need a toad, or a toad when you need a chimera ant, said Jiraiya. Does he actually want me to summon the Toads and train with them? I did not think that he was serious about this apprenticeship thing. Perhaps I should give it a shot. I would like to find out what is so special about these Toads. Perhaps I will learn something interesting from this experience, Naruto thought. Fine then, he said. Let us do this. Meanwhile, at the Hidden Sound main base, you called for me, Kabuto said. There was no respect in his tone as he stepped in Orochimaru's throne room. He did not even bother to go on his knees, bow his head or anything. There was no Orochimaru-sama or even calling his master name. Of course, Orochimaru noticed this, and he was, for the first time in a very long time, or perhaps his entire life, he was speechless and dumbfounded, not having seen Kabuto look at him with such contempt and rage since the first time they met, when Kabuto attacked him with the intention to maim and kill him. For a moment it seems like rage was gonna take over the Snake Sanin. After all, he had absolutely no tolerance for disrespect and insubordination from his underling, not even Kabuto. However, as if a light bulb switched on in his head, it hit him. Of course, why hadn't he thought about it sooner? In hindsight, it seems so obvious. The reason behind Kabuto's behavior. Minato's brat. It had to be. There was no other possible reason for Kabuto to behave so out of character. Kabuto must have been furious with him Because of the assassination and Tempe order on the blonde Jinjuliki. But why exactly was he angry? Was it because the mission failed and he lost 3 of the Sound 5? No, it couldn't be. If that was the case, Kabuto's displeasure would have been justified, but not a complete lack of self-control about it. Not this complete disregard of respect, and by extension, a complete disregard of his self-preservation instincts. He didn't want to consider it, and the mere thought made him sick to his stomach, but was it somehow possible that Kabuto had grown emotionally attached to that brat? Kabuto, have you forgotten who you are speaking to? Orochimaru said, venom on his tongue, before he released a dose of killer intent. However, Kabuto did not even flinch as he stood his ground. Turning Naruto into an enemy was the most foolishest act ever committed in the history of the Elemental Nation. I don't understand how an intellect like yourself could make such a foolish decision, Kabuto said, as he was furious. Kabuto, I won't warn you once. Why? Kabuto said, cutting him off. Why didn't you consult with me before making this decision? I would have warned you about the consequences. At the very least, I would have given you intel that would have at least ensured that the 3 survive. I don't even understand why an assassination attempt was necessary. Naruto wasn't even the enemy. Kabuto said furiously. Maybe not an enemy, but he was certainly a loose end. If you're not smart enough to comprehend such simple logic, maybe I have no use for you after all. Orochimaru retorted angrily. A loose end? Did you really think that Naruto would say anything? I thought I made it clear that he absolutely hates Konoha and the 3rd Hokage. I made sure of it, and I didn't even have to push that hard, Kabuto said. He has not sworn loyalty to me, or the hidden sound. That makes him a loose end. It doesn't matter what you think. You must have the intellect of a baboon if you cannot rectify yourself with such basic common sense, Orochimaru said. We lost 3 of our strongest warriors, and I almost died as well because of your decision. It was a bad move no matter how you look at it. You? Why would he? Did the brat attack you? Orochimaru asked, surprised. Of course he did. Do you know how hard it was for me to convince him that I had no knowledge of your assassination attempt on him? I am lucky that he even gave me a chance to explain myself. Orochimaru did not say anything. It wasn't often that he was rendered speechless, and it wasn't often that he would admit to being wrong. However, hearing that Kabuto had almost been killed because of his actions hit him like a freight train. It wasn't necessarily out of sentimentality, or at least, it wasn't sentimentality alone. If there was one thing that Orochimaru knew for a fact, when it came to identifying talent, he had absolutely no rival, and Kabuto was undoubtedly the most talented medical ninja and scientist that he'd ever laid his eyes on. Yes, even more so than his former teammate. There was no doubt in his mind that Kabuto would one day surpass Navi, and given his own ambitions, Orochimaru knew that it was in his best interest that Kabuto stay alive and develop his unique talents, and that Kabuto continued to help him with his experiments. Because the survival rate of his test subjects has increased by 80% since Kabuto had joined him, and so had the success rates of his experiments. Anyway, what are we gonna do now that we lost 3 of our elite ninjas? Are we going to cancel the invasion? Kabuto asked, taking Orochimaru's silence as close to an apology that he would ever get from the elite ninja. The invasion continued as planned. I've waited too long, planned for too long to have it come to nothing because of one insolent brat. Our plan was focused on the Zone 4 trapping the 3rd Hokage inside the 4 flaming barrier, and with 3 of them gone, we will use Kin and Dosu. I will give them the curse mark, and I will take personal control of their training. I see. And what about the 4th member? Perhaps it's time to remove Shin from stasis, Orochimaru said. I don't think that's a good idea, Orochimaru-sama. At least if you have any intentions of making Sasuke join us. He will indeed wonder about the eyes, and he will be displeased by the truth, or any lies that we have conjured up. In that case, you have until the Chunin exam finals to get Kimimaro-kun back to full health. But no excuses, Kabuto. Get it done, Orochimaru said. Yes, Orochimaru-sama, Kabuto said with a bow, knowing that it was not best to argue with the snake Sannin when he was in this kind of mood, as he had regained his sanity and therefore he regained his self-preservation instincts. Tell me, Kabuto, are you absolutely sure that Minato Brat won't rat out on us? 100%, my lord. Naruto-kun is no ordinary ninja. He is a man of honor. He has a code to fulfill all of his promises. When he makes a promise, he does not break it, no matter what. Besides, he intends to defect from Konoha, and our invasion is key to his plans, or at the very least, it makes it easier for him. Now this is news to me. You never mentioned this before, Kabuto. Perhaps if you had told me this sooner, I would have made different plans for him. Do you think you can convince him to join us? To join the Land of Sound, Orochimaru asks, in a curious tone. I was hoping that he would come to that decision of his own accord. That is part of the reason why I suggested that you let him help us with the development of the Cursed Seal and the Edo Tensei. After that assassination attempt, however, I don't ever see him trusting anything that comes out of my mouth, especially if it comes out of your mouth. Nevertheless, we can at least appease him slightly. He has offered us a chance of a truce. However, it comes at a price. What does the cursed fool want now? Asks Orochimaru. Nothing that we cannot provide. He knows about the assassination of the Kazekage. He only wants the Kazekage corpse, and all will be forgiven, Kabuto said. The Kazekage, huh? Very well, do as you wish with the corpse. I have no care for the Kazekage bloodline limit. Not when I'm about to get my hands on the precious Sharingan. All jutsu in the world will be within my grasp once I get my hands on Sasuke-kun, Orochimaru said with a chuckle. As you wish, Orochimaru-sama, Kabuto said. Time skip. Satisfied? Kabuto asks. Indeed I am. This will make up for the assassination attempt. All is forgiven. Naruto said as he resealed a Kazekage corpse into the human storage scroll before he sealed it back into his arm. If I may ask, what did you do with Tobirama corpse? And what do you intend to do with this corpse? Kabuto asked curiously. All in good time, Kabuto. All in good time, said Naruto. You still don't trust me, huh? But at least I deliver as promised. This means that he will still help us with the invasion, correct? No, it doesn't, said Naruto. The agreement was I would not treat you as an enemy, and therefore I will not act against you. In other words, this was your way of earning my forgiveness for the assassination attempt. If I do help you in any way, it will be an indirect and roundabout way, which serve my own interests. Don't worry though, Kabuto-sensei. Even if I made an enemy out of you, I wouldn't go as far as trying to kill you. Your master, definitely, but not you. I owe you too much for giving me the knowledge and the enlightenment I needed to free myself from Konoha shackles. Besides, you're my friend, and I like you, said Naruto, with a shrug of his shoulders. Your friend, Kabuto said, as the word felt foreign to him, coming from his mouth. Yes, I mean friends. Share their secrets with one another. They look out for each other, and they forgive each other when they hurt each other. They help each other to grow strong, or with any general problems that require assistance, or with things that only trusted friends can be trusted with. Your motives may or may not have been pure, but there's not even a shadow of doubt that I am better off because of you. You're arguably the most important person in my life. As Kabuto looked down and fixed his glasses, as he was unable to look Naruto in the eye anymore, for some reason. Getting all sentimental on me, are we now, Naruto-kun? I thought I warned you about the consequences of becoming attached to people, especially shinobi people. Kabuto said as his glasses were gleaming. A strange look appeared in his eyes that could not be deciphered. I am only stating facts, Kabuto-sensei. There's being sentimental, and then there's reality. I'm only laying out the facts, said Naruto. I see. Kabuto trailed off thoughtfully. In any case, once I leave Konoha, you and I won't see each other for some time. It could be months, it could be years, until we see each other again. So, if there's anything that you want to say to me, as Kabuto then realized that for the first time he would not be in constant communication with Naruto for the first time in 5 years. As that realization just shocked him. Well, there's something I wanted to ask you about. Did you steal the corpse of the fourth Hokage? I asked because I broke into the Hokage crypt so yesterday to get his corpse. Orochimaru-sama wanted to resurrect him along with the second Hokage and the first Hokage. Imagine my surprise to find it completely empty, Kabuto said. That's the last thing you want to say to me. I guess I shouldn't be completely surprised, Naruto thought, with a mental shake of his head. I did in fact take his corpse, along with Kushina's, said Naruto. I'm going to need you to hand over your father. I hope you understand that 3 Hokage is better than 1. It's simple. Mathematics. Kabuto said with steel in his tone. It sounds like you're threatening me, said Naruto, with a questioning undertone. I'm just saying. You promised that if I got the 4th Kazekage for you, you would not act against us. Denying us access to the 4th Hokage, however, is doing exactly that. It's a breach of promise, a betrayal. Kabuto said with a grave and dangerous tone, as Naruto stared at him. Sensei, he said, let me first clarify something to you. I stole my father's corpse long before you told me about your invasion plan. Long before you asked me to help modify the Edo Tensei. Long before this promise was made. Therefore, it cannot be a breach of promise if the act was committed before the promise was made. Secondly, you would not need the entire corpse of the jutsu. A small DNA sample would suffice. So I don't understand why you want the entire corpse. And finally, and most relevant, it is all irrelevant whether you have the corpse or DNA sample. Because my father's soul is trapped inside the Shinigami's stomach with the Kyuubi. Your jutsu will not work. That can't be true. I thought the 4th Hokage used the 4 symbol seal to seal away the Kyuubi, Kabuto said. Actually, it is the 8th symbol seal, a variation that he created of the 4 symbol seal. But before sealing away the Kyuubi, he used the Reaper seal to seal away half the soul into the dead god. The Kyuubi inside me is only half of the beast, and believe me, this half is actually strong enough to take on the other beasts and win. I can't even imagine how powerful it was at full strength, Naruto said in amazement and wonder. That can't be. Such raw power, Kabuto said, trailing off. Yes, he's the apex of all apex predators. Nevertheless, I think we're done here, said Naruto. Orochimaru will have to make do with those 2. It should be enough to take out the 3rd, although a Hokage that had lived for that long should not be underestimated. He might have some tricks up his sleeve, Naruto warned. Duly noted. I just have one more question if you don't mind. Speak your mind, Sensei, said Naruto. How long have you been a member of the Bloodline, Kabuto asked, dropping the bomb right there and then. As Naruto's eyes widened for a brief second, however, he got over it rather quickly. How perceptive of you, Kabuto Sensei. I suppose I should know better than try to hide anything from you. Naruto replied. So you did join the Bloodline. Tell me, who is the leader? Who are the other members? Who founded the organization, Kabuto asked. I'm the founder, of course, Sensei. As for the other members, you will find out in due time. I doubt that you know any of them, but they are people to be feared. Even by someone like your master. Big things are in store for the world, Sensei. The world as you know it is about to undergo a complete overhaul. A new order is on the horizon, eventually. You will have to choose sides. I really hope you choose wisely, Sensei, said Naruto. No way. You're the leader? It's impossible. Wait, why are you collecting Bloodline Limit Corps exactly? What are you doing with the... Don't ask too many questions, Sensei, Naruto said, cutting him off. Try to stay out of the affairs of the organization, would you? I may be leader, but I can't be held responsible for what my colleagues might do to you if they find you snooping around. They are under orders to eliminate all threats from the organization, Naruto said in a grave undertone. For the first time, Kabuto truly realized what a monster he had created, as he finally saw how truly dangerous Naruto was. Is this the reason why Orochimaru-sama wanted to kill Naruto so much? Did he sense what a threat he would be to our goals? Or rather, what a problem he would pose for us in the future? The Bloodline is arguably an organization with the same threat level asked the Akatsuki. If he, at the age of 12, is a founder and leader of the organization, then how powerful he will be when he reach maturity? Kabuto pondered. Tell me, Naruto-kun, he said, why am I only finding out about this now? How come I was not your first recruit? Why haven't you offered me a position in the organization? Naturally, your allegiance to Orochimaru would make you a liability in my organization, and secondly, how do you ask your sensei to become your subordinate? Naruto asks. Are those the only reasons? Kabuto asks in a suspicious tone. Of course, I've always been completely straight with you. If there was another reason I would have told you. You know that, said Naruto. Kabuto was silent. I have to go now, said Naruto. Good luck with the invasion, sensei. I hope everything go according to plan. With that, Naruto disappeared, leaving Kabuto angry, disappointed, frustrated. All of that was not what he felt. He was not sure how to feel about this. Powerless was in there as well. To think that he was the source of this creation. As he wondered what the future for the shinobi world was going to be. Time skip. What are you doing, dope? Sasuke asked furiously. He was wearing the same outfit, except his hair was a little longer. His shorts were black instead of white, and his turtleneck was also black instead of blue. Black sandals as well. His eyes were blood red with 3 totem in each pupil. He was angry, boiling with rage even. Perhaps the adrenaline rush also contributed to that. Naruto had just wasted the opportunity for him. The opportunity for him not to only get his first kill, but to kill Gaara of the Desert, the strongest ninja in the sand, the container of a tail beast. Taking a life was also a milestone. It will also show that he was cut out for this ninja stuff, and also prove that he would be able to kill Itachi. Killing someone strong would also verify to himself that he was strong enough, and he will be able to kill Itachi when the time is right. He's done an amazing job by subduing and paralyzing the tail beast with his Sharingan, having caught Shikaku in a genjutsu, and Gaara made it easier by putting himself to sleep, making the beast head take over. He was about to put a Chidori through Gaara's chest if Naruto hadn't tackled him out of the way. This stupid jealous dope probably wanted to steal a spotlight away from him, but Sasuke was not going to accept that. Is that any way to speak to the guy that just saved your life? Naruto asked in a condescending tone. Did you just save mine or his life? Feeling sentimental over your Jinchuriki friend? Get it through your thick head, though, piece of enemy, Sasuke said as he grabbed Naruto by the scruff of his neck. The sand moved beneath your feet, you idiot. He was about to skewer you if I did not tackle you. Take a look for yourself. Sasuke's eyes widened when he turned as he saw giant pike of sand that was going to rip right through him, and he did not even notice. Impossible. I've completely subdued the Biju with my Sharingan. It's under my control. If his automatic defense was off the beast, protecting him, then this should not be activated, Sasuke said. Then either you don't have as much control over the beast as you think, or the beast was not the one protecting him with that automatic defense. As Naruto realized that the automatic defense was originating from the love tattoo on Gaara's forehead. What an interesting Funjutsu. Almost as good as my automatic genjutsu defense seal, Naruto thought to himself. What is it? Sasuke asked forcefully. Huh? Said Naruto. The source of his automatic defense. Don't you play dumb with me, dope. I know that you already figured it out, Sasuke said. It's the tattoo on his forehead. I am sure that if you actually put your Sharingan to use instead of looking around for easy ways, you'd have figured it out by now, said Naruto. Sasuke clenched his fist at the remark. How the hell does a tattoo do something like that? It's a Funjutsu, dummy. I mean, for someone with a hiki on his neck, I would expect better knowledge from you about this, said Naruto. I hate you, Sasuke said. I know. So anyway, what are you gonna do about this situation, Naruto asks. Where's Sakura? Sasuke asks, off topic. She's safe, said Naruto. My shadow clone took her to safety. Good. I don't want her seeing this, he said in a grave undertone. What are you gonna do, Naruto asks. I'm going to try and activate Shinori one more time. I was able to beat his sand before in speed. I'm going to try and do it again. That is not necessarily true, Sasuke. You were fresh and at full health back then. You have taken a lot of damage since. Also, the Biju is stronger, seeing that he's released despite not having full control. And finally, killing the host will not exactly help our cause. It will just release Shikaku, and he will wreak havoc on the village. He is almost all the way detached from his container, so he won't have to put himself back together. If you kill his container, he will just walk free. Then what do you suggest that we do? Sasuke asks. Who knows, said Naruto as he shrugged his shoulder, pissing Sasuke off even more. I cannot have Sasuke kill the container here. It is true, Shikaku won't take long to re-manifest. If the containers kill under these circumstances, but a couple of hours is still too long. I need the beast attacking the village before the sun and the sand are defeated. The attack was going on the village as we speak, as Naruto could tell that the sun and sand are being overwhelmed by the Konoha forces. However, he was broken from his thoughts when he heard the chirping as Sasuke activated the Chidori, and he once again activated the curse mark as well. Oh great, Naruto thought. I thought I told you. Shut up, dope, Sasuke said. Can't you see I'm trying to concentrate? Standing around doing nothing is not going to help. I have to do something. When I fight Itachi, I won't have time to just stand idle and do nothing. I have to act or die. Either way, if I run right now, then I'll run when the going get tough in my battle with my brother. And I do not want to run, Sasuke said. Well, when you put it like that, said Naruto, I'll have to get ready to act. If Sasuke die and I come back unscathed, then it will be obvious that I let him die. Damn it. This is not going according to plan, Naruto thought, as he was now regretting helping Sasuke awaken the Sharingan, because that was coming back to bite him in the ass right now. I'm going, Sasuke said as he pushed off at a burst of speed, pushing his body faster than he's ever gone before. Sasuke weaved and twisted around all of the spikes coming his way, even the one that came up from the ground, out of the sight of the Sharingan. I guess. Damn it, Naruto thought, as Naruto spotted a pattern in the sand attack. It was not just defending, it was luring him, luring Sasuke into a trap. This automatic defense is way more advanced than we thought, as Naruto activated his elite Sun Shin, as Sasuke was caught by the leg, as he was thrown into a sand spike. However, Naruto arrived and caught him and flashed away. You can thank me later for Naruto trailed off as he saw Sasuke curse mark disappearing, also his Sharingan fading away from his eyes, as he was breathing so heavy. Perfect, Naruto thought, realizing with Sasuke's Sharingan no longer active, Shikaku would regain conscious anytime now. Put me down, dope, Sasuke said weakly, feeling extremely uncomfortable with the dope carrying him bridal style. No can do, Sasuke. With your Sharingan reactivated, Shikaku will regain conscious anytime now. We can't defeat him. We'll have to get someone that can, said Naruto. We have to get Jiraiya-sama, as he carries Sasuke in his arms back to the village. Of course, he could have summoned a boss toad, or his chimera ants to hold off Shikaku, or lure him away from the village. But he was not trying to help Konoha, not at all. And hell would freeze over before he helped Konoha. He was gonna find Jiraiya, but he was gonna waste as much time as possible before finding Jiraiya, and have much Konoha Shinobi die before finding Jiraiya. Time skip. And that is everything that happened up to that point. Naruto explained, as he found himself under interrogation. Well, he's been under interrogation ever since he revealed his true potential, so he was not surprised. Personally, they have not even scratched the surface of what he can truly do, and if they fear him so much now, he wondered how terrified they would have been if they know what he can really do. On the bright side, the third Hokage was now done and dusted thanks to Orochimaru. And if that wasn't good enough, the third had sealed away Orochimaru's arms, locking away a good portion of his ninjutsu. Honestly, he could not hope for a better result. One of his enemies was dead and the other one was almost useless. Almost. Still, Naruto was not naive enough to believe that everything would be normal for him back in the village. Case in point, he was under scrutiny from the three elders, aka evil Root Envu leader Danzo, wannabe Hokage, Koharu, and Homura as well. Jiraiya was there of course, as he was in the room. So was Kakashi, Ibiki, and Anko. Your stories certainly match up completely with Sasuke Uchiha's version of the events. If he was not completely isolated since the invasion, I would have sworn that the both of you had rehearsed it together, Jiraiya said, with a tint of suspicion towards Naruto. It matched perfectly because it's the absolute truth. If it did not match up perfectly, it would mean one of us would be lying, obviously, said Naruto. You do not seem all too concerned about Sarutobi passing, Naruto-kun. I was under the impression that the both of you were very close, Koharu said. I was also under the impression that you three elders were his childhood friends. You don't seem that bummed out about it either. Jiraiya-sensei is also his beloved student. I don't see him crying about it, Naruto said. You're deflecting. That's a very peculiar response, Uzumaki Naruto. Danzo said, I'm not deflecting, you old fart. I'm merely making a point here. We're all shinobis. Death is a part of the job. Nobody's gonna walk around sulking or crying in their losses. Or have you forgotten about the ninja rules in your old days? A shinobi must never show emotions. Have you forgot that rule already? Naruto asks, as Danzo did not reply. Your callous way of talking and bluntly disregarding for protocols was amusing when you were little. But it has gotten old very fast. I would suggest that you show a little more respect when addressing your superiors, Naruto Uzumaki, Homura said dangerously. Yes, whatever. Am I done here? I really don't want to be here otherwise. You're not done, not by a long shot. We need to talk about your status in the village going forward, Danzo said with a strange, sinister glint in his eye. My status, said Naruto. He already knew what the man was talking about, but he was playing dumb, for appearance's sake. You are the vessel of the nine-tailed demon fox, yet you were unable to defeat the vessel of the one-tails. In fact, it doesn't seem like you tried at all before running, with your tail between your legs. That is an insult and embarrassment to the village, and our status in the shinobi world, and a direct consequence of that is the thousands of good men and women that lost their life in the war with the sun and sand. This issue cannot be ignored any longer. You need to be trained so that you can use your demon powers. You need to join my envoy so you can receive proper training and condition. Naruto cut him off. Hold on a second there, Tigre. Isn't that supposed to be the Hokage decision? Has a new Hokage been elected yet? Aren't you getting ahead of yourself, Danzo, said Naruto. That's Lord Danzo to you. Nevertheless, Lord Danzo, it is not your decision to make, Naruto said firmly. Nice try, Danzo, but things are not going to go the way that you thought, Naruto thought to himself maliciously. Indeed, Uzumaki Naruto. Fortunately, we had already discussed this with the third, and the daimyo, before the finals of the Chunin exams, in case something happened to Sarutobi during the war. It was decided that Jiraiya of the Sannin will succeed the third, and become the fifth Hokage, Koharu said. What? Why wasn't I informed of this meeting, Danzo said. How strange that you ask such a question, Lord Danzo. I was under the impression, as the commander of the famed Root Envoy unit, nothing is supposed to happen in the Fire Nation borders without you knowing about it. Perhaps you're not as good at your job as you were rumored to be, or perhaps you're losing your touch in your old age, Naruto said degradingly, causing Danzo to glare at him hatefully. Well, it appears you have your answer, Danzo, Homura said, trying to hide the amusement that was in his eyes, as a little bit of it leaked in his tone. Damn you, Hiruzen. This is all your fault, Danzo thought furiously, unable to think that even from the grave Hiruzen had outwitted him and got the first laugh. In any case, regarding to your proposal, it would seem the request now lies with our new Hokage, Jiraiya Dano, Koharu said, as all eyes turned towards him. It won't be necessary for Naruto to join Root. In order to learn and master his Jinchuriki powers, I will take over the responsibility, but nevertheless, it's not my decision to make, because I believe we can get a more suitable Hokage candidate. Naruto and I will leave as soon as possible. We will find my old teammate Tsunade Senju and bring her back to the village. She will become the fifth Hokage, Jiraiya said. Jiraiya Dano. You can't possibly seriously decline such a great honor and responsibility. The village needs you more now than it ever has needed you before. Lady Snadis sever all ties with the village. What makes you even think that she would return, much less take up the mantle of Hokage? Ibiki said, "Two Sanin is better than one, don't you think? If I successfully get her back here and have her become Hokage, wouldn't it be better than me taking the role myself?" Jiraiya asks. "And what happens if she refuses to return?" Ibiki asks. "Then we will drag her back kicking and screaming if we have to," Naruto said. "Like forcing a Sanin to come back is the easiest thing in the world." "There, you have your answer," Jiraiya said in a stern tone. A tone that did not leave any room for questioning or doubt. "Very well then, you have 1 month to find her, and bring her back as a Hokage. Should you fail to find her in that time frame, you will automatically become the 5th Hokage and required to return and take up the mantle immediately," Homura said. "Those terms are acceptable," said Jiraiya. "Naruto, go and pack your bags, we're leaving immediately." "He's not going anywhere. I am not done questioning him," said Danzo. "Geez, old man, what more do you want to ask him? He told us everything, and his story lines up with Uchiha Sasuke and Haruna Sakura version of events. We also know for a fact that they have not seen each other since the invasion," Anko said as she was tired of all of this. It was so boring. If you were going to interrogate someone, you have to draw blood and hear the screams of that person. Talking was lame, and it did nothing but annoy her. "It's okay, Anko-san. I am always ready to leave the village at a moment's notice. A ninja must always be prepared for any situation. Let Danzo Dano ask his questions. I'm sure he won't be long," said Naruto. "You were seen with Kabuto Yakuji a day before the invasion. The same Kabuto Yakuji who is a traitor to this village. The same Kabuto Yakuji who happens to be Orochimaru's right-hand man. The same Orochimaru who attacked our beloved village. Adding on to the fact that you did not get a scratch in your fight with Shikaku, and you lead in Shikaku right through the village, I would say that it looks like you're quite a traitorous enemy of Konoha. Wouldn't you say, Naruto Uzumaki?" As Naruto's face started to swell, his cheeks bulging before he burst out laughing. "I'm sorry, Uzumaki-san, but no. Actually, I'm sure none of us in this room found what I said amusing. Would you care to share the joke?" Danzo said. As the man was angry, "Danzo Dano, I didn't know that you were such a joker. I mean, imagine if I told everyone here that you were the true collaborator with Orochimaru. Imagine if I told everyone here that you had an entire arm made out of Hoshirama DNA by Orochimaru. Imagine if I said that you had a Sharingan eye hidden behind those bandages of yours. Wouldn't you laugh at the sheer weight of stupidity hidden behind that statement?" Naruto asked calm, as Danzo was sweating on the inside, unable to comprehend how the boy got his hands on those information. "You will have to forgive me, Naruto, but I had to give you one final test to confirm your loyalties. It was nothing personal," Danzo said in a diplomatic tone. "You won't get away with this, you filthy brat," Danzo thought to himself. "No offense taken. I understand perfectly. Can I go now, or is there another test lying in waiting?" said Naruto. "You're fishing in the wrong pond, you idiots," Naruto thought. "While you're busy trying to find a connection between me and Orochimaru, I will be busy finalizing the bloodline. You're playing checkers, but I'm playing shogi. You're not even on the same board as me. No, you're free to go now," Danzo said. "Thank you, Danzo Dano," he said. "Jiraiya-sensei, I'll be waiting for you at the gate. Or rather, where the gate used to be," said Naruto. "Good call, I'll be with you soon. I just have to sort out a few things with the elders," said Jiraiya. "Roger that," said Naruto. "I'll be taking my leave," as he left. Once Naruto was gone, "So, Kurenai, Ibiki, what did you think?" Kurenai came out as she stood there. "I honestly have no thought on the matter," she said. "I cannot tell what is real or what is not. I only know what you know, that his story checks out. Despite his lack of facing off against Shikaku. Having said that, he did eventually found you and helped you seal away Shikaku." As she left the sentence open, she had nothing more to say. "My report is the same as Kurenai. We need to gather more evidence. In this, there's nothing much that we can say," Ibiki said. So you're saying that his actions only seem suspicious because we are already suspicious of him? Jiraiya said. He's guilty. Just because you cannot prove something doesn't make it any less true. You are all ninjas, what do your shinobi instinct tell you? Said Danzo. I've seen this game played many times, most recently by Orochimaru and his events that led up to his defection. While it is hard to comprehend that Minato-kun heir could ever turn traitor, we must consider that he knows nothing about his lineage. He was raised in a negative environment. It would not surprise me to find out that he holds no love for this village whatsoever. I do not believe that he's working with Orochimaru, however, not actively. If he was, he would have unleashed his Biju beside the Shikaku child and attacked the village together. It would have been the clearest opportunity for him to destroy the village. He might have his own goals and ambitions outside of what Orochimaru is planning, but nevertheless it is good that Jiraiya-kun and Kakashi-kun have decided to take him under their wing. Perhaps you can mold and shape him to be the kind of shinobi that you, Sarutobi and Minato-kun would have wanted him to be. So we entrust everything to you, Homura said. Thank you. We will do the best we can. Right, Kakashi? Jiraiya said, as he patted him on the back, making the man stumble a bit. Of course, Jiraiya-sama, said Kakashi. The elders nodded. Time skip. 3 days later. Knocking could be heard. As Naruto sat in the room, hearing the knocking on the door, one with a ridiculously and strong potent chakra, and one with a ridiculous amount of chakra. Definitely the Akatsuki. Itachi, Uchiha, and Kisame to be exact. As Naruto got up and started to march towards the door, recognizing the Uchiha chakra very well. As the knock came once again. I'm coming, said Naruto. As Naruto got closer to the door. As he opened the door, the shorter of the two greeted him. He looked so much like Sasuke. Good afternoon, Naruto-kun, he said. The taller one, with a massive sword strapped on his back, looked down towards him. Good afternoon, Itachi-dano. Kisame-dano. Would you two like to come in? I was making some coffee and biscuits, and I would be honored if you two could join me. This is not the kind of response I expected at all. This Jinjulki must have been dropped on his head when he was a baby, Kisame said, amusement in his eyes. We have orders from our leader to take you back to the organization with us, Itachi said, ignoring his partner for now and playing along with this show. I am not the one that you want though, am I? It's the beast inside of me you really want, said Naruto. These Konoha shinobis are something else, aren't they? Hard to believe that even genuine level shinobi like himself know about our organization, even after we went to such lengths to keep our true motives hidden, Kisame said in a bit of disappointment. It changes nothing. You're coming with us, Naruto-kun, willingly, or by force, Itachi said, as he looked at Naruto calmly. How soon is your deadline? You see, I'm currently working on a special jutsu to separate me from the fox, without killing me. If your deadline is not immediate, would it be possible to give me some more time to get rid of the beast? Or is this a request I can only ask of the leader? Kisame and Itachi looked towards each other, question marks on their forehead, dumbfounded by what they just heard. You buying this shit? I'm not buying it one bit. I think he's just stalling for time. To wait and see if Jiraiya will come to his rescue, Kisame said. I could not detect any signs of deception with my Sharingan. Did you and Samehata detect anything in his chakra? No, but I bet he's a really good liar. He sure looked like one. I mean, just look at him. He's acting actually just like you. As Itachi raised an eyebrow toward his partner, insinuating that he was an expert liar. Well, it was true, but he just did not know that Kisame was that much aware of it. Perhaps he need to reevaluate his friendship with the ex-Miss Swordsman. After all, this was a guy who made his name by killing his own sensei and many of his own comrades and countrymen. So, is this a normal thing for you guys, staring into each other's eyes like that? Because your little romantic moment is wasting precious time, isn't it? I mean, Jiraiya has a high opinion of himself when it comes to women, but even he should realize soon that a pretty woman like that would not just throw herself at him, unless she was either a spy or assassin, or in this particular case, controlled by genjutsu. How long do you think you can continue to deceive Jiraiya Sensei with the genjutsu you placed on that woman? Once again they were caught off guard. not expecting this. This is some kind of trick, right? This kid gotta be messing with us. Let me chop off his legs just in case, said Kisame, as his right arm reached towards his blade. That is useless. My legs would regenerate within half a day if I lose consciousness. If I'm awake, I can regenerate them in a minute. Maybe less, said Naruto. As he said it like it was the most normal thing in the world, both men were once again left speechless. Itachi? Kisame said. He did not usually deal with problems like this. Usually he attack or kill, but in this situation he could not kill his target, and he was confused on what the hell was going on. Okay, Naruto-kun, you can make your request directly to our leader, and since you're cooperating we will not resort to any violent measures, said Itachi. Can you keep up with us, or should we have my partner carry you to our destination? I'm not sure I can keep up with you. S-rank ninjas. Can you carry me, fish face? Naruto asks in a mocking tone. Kisame eye twitch. Yeah, I'll carry you. Right after I chop off your damn stubby legs. Let's see how many times you can regenerate them until you run out of chakra. I found you. Finally! A voice shouted in rage. Turning standing there was none other than Sasuke Uchiha, as Naruto had sent him a very long time ago. As he shouted at his brother before charging forward, Jiraiya was also anticipated by Naruto as Naruto had sent him as well, and he started to rush in as well. Naruto watched the whole proceedings went on, as Sasuke was knocked unconscious by his brother, as Jiraiya summoned a toad stomach to trap them all inside of. However, they were able to escape. Round in the corner, Naruto saw it, the black flames. Amaterasu. So those are the untouchable black flames that Kabuto told me about. If I recall correctly, he used the left eye to cast Tsukuyomi on Sasuke, meaning that he must have used the right eye to cast this. So his left has the ability to cast powerful genjutsu, on his right has the ability to cast powerful ninjutsu, Naruto thought to himself. Interesting. As Jiraiya started to make his way back over towards him. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification say posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs on the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 channels which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.